Hey, so the cold approach, it is so freaking scary. I know, I feel you. Just because even after doing that for like 10 plus years, it's still just as scary as it was when I was starting. It is such a deep fear. Well, I'll speak about it a little bit later. But right now, the two things for whom this video is. For those who just starting and scared of the cold approach shitless, we're going to speak about why is this fear even there, as well as the second type of people who I would like to watch it as well is those people who are in game for quite some time. They feel confident and they've done some great achievements in their times, yet they still think or have an understanding that there might be still so much resistance in them after they have not been doing this for a little bit of time. So let's speak of the indicators. What are the indicators that you are now scared of doing the cold approach? It's easy because I'm just living through this right now, and last week I was discovering to my surprise that I'm so scared. Like I'm so scared, it's insane. And now a friend of mine just shared with me how scared he was, like how intense that fear is. And I understand, I totally feel that. Just because it doesn't go away, it is always there. And what are the indicators that it is still there? First, it's okay, if you're trying to set yourself a task of okay, I'm doing at least 3 cold approaches, or let's say 1 cold approach per day. If you're even reluctant to setting that task for yourself, okay, for 3 days, just because this motherfucker challenged me, I'm going to do the cold approach every day. It could be 3, it could be 1. I prefer 3. So let's say, okay, I'm doing this for 3 days. If you're even reluctant to setting that for yourself as a task, or it's like I'm not in the best situation right now, it's like I have too much time spending, it's like focusing on other things, blah blah. That's bullshit. You know it. So there's always opportunity where you meet women, where you meet beautiful women, or just any person that is outside your social circle. Don't fool yourself. You know for sure this happens on everyday basis. If you are not in such a situation where you are able to come out of your social circle for even once per day, then get out of that place. This is not gonna get you far if you are willing to do some achievements in this sphere. But anyway, skipping that, the indicator, if you're reluctant to set that task for yourself, you, my friend, are just the same as me, scared as fuck of cold approach, and that's okay. But another indicator, okay, you set yourself a task, like, okay, I'm gonna do 3 cold approaches per day, and then you procrastinate for the whole day, and then in the evening you understand that, oh shit, I haven't done any cold approach today, and you're like, well, today, who cares, I'm gonna skip a day, doesn't matter. This does not work. Trust me, you're never gonna do that cold approach today, tomorrow, it's like you're just down the downward spiral. So really, those things are just for you to understand that, okay, now I'm scared, and it's okay. The next thing, why is this fear so deep in us? This fear, I can explain shortly, it runs from the millions of years ago of evolution, where we are tribal people, where we are set to survive within groups. So if you're within a group and you do something stupid, you're kicked out of the group, your chances to survive by yourself, all alone in this wild nature, 0. So equals to death. Fear of death is the most rooted, most scary thing you can possibly challenge. And with the approaching women, it's especially strong, because if one woman declines you, means you're somehow unhealthy or unfit for mating. And other women see that, and it means that no other woman would want to mate with you. And that means that your whole genes are just wiped out of this whole universe. You're never gonna appear. It's not that you just died, but your kid's still alive and you're living in your kid, or how many kids you've done in your whatever tribal age. But you're just wiped out completely, and that's scary. And so imagine how deep that fear is, and there is no wonder why you're so scared. So am I, right? Next thing, maybe just a small tip on what would be the things that actually allow you to push through this resistance, and to have a little bit of a little more freedom to actually set this task for yourself, that okay, I'm gonna do the cold approach for the next 3 days every day. What a challenge, right? small tip would be that if you think of this as a death, really, just like that, okay, that today I'm gonna go and die. Of course, this is fucking scary, and you understand that okay, this is just as much fear in me to go and die today, as well as to go and approach a woman. In that sense, you understand that okay, it's a real deal. It's not just something like some little thing that I cannot do. Go and meet a woman, like that's so easy. I've done it a million times, especially if you're those of those who like been doing this for quite some time and had success, right? Setting the bar high for yourself. I remember it's like I'm going through the streets and I'm pressurizing myself with this. Wow, I cannot even go outside of my house just because this fear is so pressurizing. This bar is so high, I cannot push through because I want to go and meet like the woman I would fit the best. It's like the woman that would match my standards. I go up, find this woman finally in the whole day of searching, scrolling through the streets. I'm not sure any of you have that, like those opportunities to actually go stroll through the streets to just like find the woman that you want to meet. But if you're one of those, brilliant. If you're not, definitely it's like you don't, it's like that's not the case, right? Anyway, so I go up to this woman and I blew it and I blow it like with this perfect woman, and the pressure is even higher. So still I feel the relief, but like I picked the perfect woman for the first approach. Like who the fuck needs that? Like go and speak just to any stranger. Break down that fear just a little bit, crack it, so that you have this window of opportunity to jump in it. And the next day it's easier, you know it. Anyway, so the two things here are one is to understand that it's a real deal. It's a real fear that is so strong that is going to stop you from doing like really many things. Like the fear of death is the most rooted, the most fearful thing ever, right? And if you think, okay, today I'm gonna go and die and not do the cold approach, that's just a whole different mentality. And if you're willing to die today, then fuck yeah, you're ready for the cold approach. But and how close are those things really? I would just speak a little bit further in the sense, like in the analogy of this life-death thing, so that you understand how close those things are. If I go with the thought that okay, today I'm gonna go and die, and I'm willing to let go of all the baggage, of all these like knowledge, all these skills that I've gained in this life, if you think of this as a game, like I have so many achievements already with this character. I don't want to lose it. I don't want to die. I want to live and hold on to this. But when you think, okay, I'm ready and willing to let go of all that and just crush all the things that I've built up in just one instant, that is so powerful. You have the whole freedom of this, like of being able to express, of being able to not being attached to the things that are holding you away from like doing the biggest achievements you can possibly imagine. You understand? Like, you get the point. And if you died yesterday 3 times, you understand that okay, today I can die another 3 times. I would survive. But if you died like a month ago or 2 months ago or a year ago, since the last time you've done real cold approach, can you imagine how much baggage you have gained, how much baggage, how much knowledge, how much those things that you're holding on to, that you've gained within that period of this 1 year, like, or 1 month. 1 month of things that you're holding on to. If you're holding on to only 1 day things of like, even this is hard, right? So it's like, if I died yesterday, I'm reborn today. I'm a whole new baby, just like open to the world and like open to see. Still I'm gaining those things that I'm holding on to. Okay, today this was so dear to me. I don't want to lose this feeling of like feeling good enough because of these things. And going to a woman that would say to me that I'm shit, or like just not even like show any interest, and I would feel like shit. It's like, I don't want to face that. And it's true, it's cool. Just let's be honest, we all want that freedom, internal freedom, real freedom, not the external validation things or whatever. Like, we don't want to depend on any of those things. So let's just become a little more free. I hope this tips a little bit of understanding, in-depth understanding of why this fear comes from, or how to understand that you even have it now. I hope this helps. And so let's go and do the cold approach. Love you guys.